You are listening to Hello Cupcake, It's Me, a podcast with your host, Michael Peterson.
Hey everyone, Michael here with Hello Cupcake, It's Me, a podcast. Today is September 4th, 2022. How are you? This is episode 40. I can't believe that it's already been 40 episodes. Thank each and every one of you for following along and joining along and, just interacting with me and my small little podcast show here. Um, you know, Also make sure to head over to youtube.com/Hello Cupcake It's Me to follow along with the video blog. I post stuff there that I don't post anywhere else, and same with the blog, hellocupcakeitsme.com. I'm trying to get better on posting stuff there also, and follow me on all the different social medias. You can follow me on Instagram, and that's instagram.com/Michael Scott Peterson, Peterson. And that's my personal Instagram account if you want to follow me there. And every so often I put out tweets, and that is Hello Cupcake It's Me, the letter 4, or the number 4, and the letter U. So Hello Cupcake for you. Let's get into it, shall we? So the last couple of days have just been really freaking emotional. Like, I have not really been depressed, but guys, I can hear that freaking knock of depression, like saying, hey, in just a few short weeks, I'm going to be visiting you for the next 6 or 7 months. So, hope you're prepared. And really, I'm not. I am not prepared. But it's just been emotional. I know that I've talked about needing to go to the chiropractor on my YouTube, and I think I even mentioned it a couple of 2-3 times here on the podcast. But for those of you just joining, I've needed to go to the chiropractor for quite some time, and I am a huge believer in signs and repetition and stuff like that. So if something has a lot of blocks and keeps me from being able to smoothly do something, I take that as a sign from the universe, from God, from spirit, from whatever you want to call it, as a sign that I'm not supposed to try to push forward with something. Anytime I go against that gut feeling, it always turns out 100 times worse than what it should have been. And I usually end up having shit blow up in my face. So that was the case with Thursday. Thursday was just a shit show of emotions. I spent most of the day just in this depressive funk and crying and just feeling like crap, because I live on a broken shoestring budget, and I've had to tie the two pieces together just to kind of make it work. And I finally got the money saved up to go to the chiropractor, and prior to making the appointment, I had all kinds of anxiety and just weird emotions about going to the doctor. And it's not my first time having ever gone to a chiropractor or whatever, but it was for whatever reason, I just had a lot of anxiety and just uncertainty about this visit. So I call the doctor up and I make my appointment, and they send me over the paperwork to fill out. So I do all my online paperwork and stuff, save the PDF to the filled out PDF to my desktop, and I send it out off to the printer. Now, I was working on my laptop in the bedroom, and my printer is located out in the living room. So, um, I checked the status notifications and everything, and it said that it printed fine. There was no error messages or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. Um, Set my alarm for the morning, about an hour before I needed to be to the appointment. Get up, take my shower and everything, come out to the printer, and the printer had jammed, and it only printed out 3 of the 5 pages that was needed. So I get the printer cleared of the jam and get it set up so that it will be a printer once again, and go to open up the laptop in the living room, and the computer is frozen and doesn't want to connect to the internet and is taking a long time, like just shutting down programs and starting up other programs and all that other stuff, everything that a computer does when it freezes up. So I finally get the computer shut off and turn back on and get it booted up, which takes for freaking ever because, well, why not? um Start to open the PDF, and it's blank. None of the stuff that I had typed into it got saved. So I start filling it out again real fast, and I look at the time, and it's like 9:23. My appointment's at 9:30. So I said, fuck it, and I rush out the door and go to my appointment, which is only like a couple of blocks up the street from me. And get in there, get new paperwork or whatever, hand the receptionist my debit card and my medical insurance and all that other stuff. And I'm standing there filling everything out. And the lady's all, Mr. Peterson, your card's been declined. I'm all, you need to run that again because I know that there's more than enough money to cover the copays for this visit today. So she runs it again, and it comes back that the card expired. It expired the day prior. Now, I have been on the on Venmo's ass to get me a new card. Like starting in the middle of July, I was getting it on there, but like, send me a new card, send me a new card, send me a new card, send me a new card. And July 28th, I asked them to send me a new card. That was the last time in July. Then August 5th, I asked them to send me a card, and then I asked them to send me a card on August 15th, and nothing. So I thought, I kept getting these emails saying, oh, your card is on its way, your card's on its way, or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to wait. Well, call Venmo up, and I'm like, listen, is there anything that you can do to authorize this doctor's office, because I am like here, I need the copay taken care of, blah blah blah. They said no. So I took that as my third and final don't do this. And so I just walked away from the appointment or whatever and just said, you know what, when and if I have the funds available to me again, I will call and remake the appointment at that time. So I just took it as the universe or whatever needed me not to be at that appointment. And then I went to our little local food bank because I just needed a few staples to hold me over until I got my monthly money to go do my grocery shopping or whatever. And I ran into my friend's father-in-law, and he's just that like dad energy all the way through. Like, if you needed a hug or whatever, just needed that dadly advice, you would go to him. So it was just kind of interesting to see him there. And so, like, just seeing him there was almost more than I could handle because I was like really anxiety and stress ridden and just like ah. So I did my little bit of food gathering there and got in the car and went and sat in front of my sister's office because I was going to be meeting her up for lunch and just called my mom and started crying. Like, sometimes you just need your mom. And I was like, Mom, I'm sorry, but I've just been having a really shitty day and my stress and anxiety levels are all over the freaking place and just so yeah, it was really kind of just a difficult day for me on Thursday. But yeah. Friday Saturday morning I woke up and I was just like I didn't want to be home and I didn't want to be stuck at home all day. Like I had things I wanted to do and things that I just that I wanted to do. I wanted to hang out with someone. I didn't want to be home all day, laying in bed, like really not doing anything. And so I reached out to several different people and no one answered the phone. No, I couldn't like get a hold of anyone. So I was like, you know what? At the very least, I'm just gonna go out and take a drive. And I had like an abundance of cardboard laying around the house, so I gathered up all the cardboard that I had, and I took that to the little recycling place. And then I just kind of drove around, and my original thought was I was just gonna go look for some yard sales, and just I had a couple of extra dollars in my pocket and like gonna go do some yard sailing, see what's up in the world, and maybe I'll find some kind of cool little diddly bop that I don't really need, but I'll buy just for the hell of retail therapy. So drove by several yard sales but never stopped, never even really got out to look, just kind of like, oh, okay, there's a yard sale, well maybe I'll hit that on the way back, and drove all around town. And yesterday there was a rally in my town where the Proud Boys were gathering, and uh, I wanted to drive by that and just kind of see what was going on. And I wasn't going to get out or anything, but yeah, that from what I understand, it really didn't get the foothold that everyone thought it was going to. So kind of thankful for that. But after I was done driving around, and I actually did go to one yard sale. I went to a church yard sale, and it was a church that my sister used to work at. And I love church yard sales because one, it's a bunch of like really good stuff, not just like broken down junk or whatever. And it's a church, and it's a lot of elderly people that have that like grandma grandpa vibe to them. And um my grandmother was really huge in her church. Like her and my grandfather were founding members of the church in the town where I grew up, and were huge patrons of it. And so growing up, I saw her always doing bake sales and yard sales and this, that, and the other thing for the church. And I just, I enjoyed it or whatever. So I decided that I was just going to like go sit out in nature, and there's this really beautiful bluff where the road dead ends and you come out to a cliff, which is like probably a good anywhere between 14 and 1800 feet up from the ocean floor or from the beach. And you overlook everything, and you see Canada and the San Juan Islands and Orcas Islands and all this other stuff, and just really gorgeous. And it was beautiful and clear, not too hot, not too cold. It was just the perfect temperature. And I keep a folding chair in the back of my car because I go to a lot of events over at my friends' houses and stuff like that for birthdays or barbecues or just get-togethers, and there's not always going to be a place for me to sit down. So I bring my own chair, so then that way I know that I always have a place to sit. So I just took out my little folding chair and I sat there on the side of the cliff and just watched the beauty of the ocean. And the water was so crystal clear that you could see probably a good 30 or 40 feet deep, and just watched some little sea otters out there playing around and watched boats go by. And um, sitting up really high, kind of like hidden by the cliff face, you can look down and you could see people walking on the beach that have no clue that you're even up there. So that was kind of interesting to be able to do that. Um, and just watching them from afar, and gave me some time to just kind of like let go of that negative emotions and that like depressive energy that had like latched onto me. And um I sat there and I meditated for a little while and just like listened to the sound of the waves and like just released it all. And I started feeling really good after that, and took the long way home, and stopped and got myself a burger at this place that's right up the street from my house that just opened up. It's like one of those roadside food trucks that has a permanent location. And so I went and I tried them out, and it was pretty decent. I mean, it was a almost $20 cheeseburger, but for it being the first time I was there and not really knowing what their food was like, um, it was decent. Then I ended up getting together with a friend later on that evening, and we went out for dinner, and that was a disappointment. The dinner, not the like interaction with my friend, but it was still nice to be able to get out and get away. And went to the Dollar Tree and picked up a few things that I've been needing and wanting and stuff like that. And it's just been good. And I've been trying to get out in nature and walk and do things like I used to do. And this is the close of my second week of walking and drinking my like copious amounts of water. Like, guys, I am drinking so much damn water that it's almost insane. Like, I'm drinking anywhere between a gallon and a gallon and a half of water a day, and I feel so much more invigorated, and like I got energy. I'm having really good sleep. I'm having very vivid lucid dreams. And I can feel myself every day getting a little bit stronger and being able to walk just a little bit more, and like the pain in my back is starting to subside. Like, I'm still having good amount of pain in my back and in my legs, but I can notice that it's starting to subside and not hurt as bad. And it's like completely unmedicated, this just feeling that way or whatever. So that's been really good. And I'm trying to get back to being healthy like I was a few years ago before um I got my kidney stone, and just doing the walking and stuff that I did back in March of 2020. Like, I started walking March 20th, 2020, and by June 18th of 2020, I had already started walking up to 7 miles a day. Well, I, not a day, but I was walking like about 4 miles a day. And on June 18th of 2020, I actually made a trek that, according to my GPS, was 13.5 miles, but according to um, the trail markers, was only 7.5. So either way, I either walk 7.5 or I walk 13.5. Don't know, don't care. Just the fact that I was able to do it, and it was like such a spiritual moment for me. And I was in a lot of pain and wasn't really able to move for several days afterwards because I was in that much pain. Like, at one point, I was completely numb from the middle of my back all the way down to my feet, but I could still feel the pain in my feet. And my neuropathy was like through the fucking roof. I had no food, no water, no kind of provisions whatsoever for me to do that kind of a walk. I just, was completely Forrest Gump about it. Just like, I just felt like walking, and like put on my shoes and I took off. Um, my sister like asked me if it was a manic thing, and I'm like, no, it had nothing to do with being manic or depressed or whatever. It was just, I pushed myself that day. Um, and it was a goal that I had made, that I wanted to be able to walk into the next town, which is like 10, 15 miles away. And I did so. So, it was really good. And I hope to be able to get back to that point, because in 2020, I had planned in 2021 that if I had continued my walking and all that other stuff that I was doing, that I was going to do a major hike, um, consisting of like 128 miles. And the hike started where I lived and ended up all the way over in Forks, Washington. And it was really ambitious of me, but I had every intention of doing so. And I wanted to do so like in April, like April, May, June, somewhere in that time period, because it's still nice and cool, but it's not super cold and super rainy. Like, yeah, we still get a lot of rain and cold and stuff during that time period, but I just wanted to make sure that, one, it wasn't going to be snowing anywhere that I was walking, and I didn't want to like try to walk through torrential downpours and snow and all that other stuff. And most of the big critters are usually still asleep during that time period, um, because our spring doesn't really happen until uh, late June, early July, and then we go directly into summer. We have like just this tiny little snippet of spring, and then from about July 5th to September 15th, September 20th is our summer, and then we go back into our 17 decades of freaking dark, overcast doom and gloom. But anyways, I'm hoping to be able to get the stamina and the strength up to doing my at least 1 mile walks a day. And yeah, that's just it. I'm hoping to be able to do that. And I go for a walk every single day. And if I don't actually get out of the house to go for a walk, I make sure that I do at least 15 to 45 minutes worth of housework, or I'll walk up and down my patio steps and just do like aerobicize that way type situation. So yeah, that's what's going on with me in that field. Also started a couple of new shows, The Ring of Power. uh I absolutely love the cinematic quality of this TV show. The same thing with House of Dragons. Like, they are both really good. And I love the fact that people are already yelling and screaming and bitching about the fact that there's like this 40 or 50-year-old man trying to marry a young girl and all this other stuff. And, it's historically accurate. That's what royals did back in the day. And I don't know. I'm just like, shut up and watch the TV program for what it is. Know your history. That's what royals did. But it's really amazing to see how in Rings of Power, how like everything just took place prior to the Hobbit and prior to the Lord of the Ring, or the Fellowship of the Rings, and all that other stuff. And I really love the cinematic quality. Like I said, it's just immersive and makes it feel like it's a 1 hour movie, and I get a lot of value out of it. I also watch a lot of animated TV shows, not like animated. I mean, I do watch anime, don't get me wrong, but like Simpsons and Futurama and Family Guy and American Dad and stuff like that. And I started watching this new one called Little Demon, and oh my god, it's everything that I like. It has stuff to do with the occult, and it has a funny storyline and everything. Like this woman is like a badass demon witch, like demon hunting witch, kind of like John Constantine, if you know anything about Constantine from the DC universe, or even from the Keanu Reeves movie Constantine. But she had an affair with the devil and ended up having the devil's spawn, and her daughter doesn't know that she is the spawn of Satan, and is starting to come into her powers, and Satan finds her, and they start working out like this co-parenting plan where he gets her on the weekends type situation. And um while the daughter is down in hell learning how to be like the next ruler or whatever, the mom is torturing demons, and she has this like nosy next door Midwestern neighbor who just like will walk in and lets herself into the house, and the mom will be sitting there in the middle of like torturing a demon and like cutting limbs off of it and like questioning it or whatever. And she's all, oh hey, howdy there, and like that Minnesota kind of like Midwestern accent or whatever. And it's just really funny and kind of interesting. It's the best way that I could describe it is like that's that 70s show, Married with Children, and the TV show Constantine that was on the WB. So it's got like a lot of serious elements, it's got comedic elements, it's got like just everything in between. A lot of fun. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here for now. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please put them in the comment section down below. Make sure that you go over and check out the blog and the YouTube channel. And, yeah, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You have been listening to Hello Cupcake, It's Me, a podcast with your host, Michael Peterson. Please make sure to check back often, as new episodes are released bi-weekly. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to send a message to hellocupcakeitsme@gmail.com. And until next time, stay happy, safe, and keep doing the best you can with what you have been given.